Welcome back. It seems like our country is going backwards in every single way policy, and it's doing us more harm than good. Our own military seems to care more about being inclusive than strengthening our front lines. Yeah, check out that person right there. He was says he was a man, and then he became a woman. The whole military trying to go woke now. I want to welcome in our military panel to discuss wokeness in our armed forces. Retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General and Newsmax contributor Blaine Holt. Also with us is former FBI agent and Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam. And we're also joined by our special guest for the show today, business and political analyst John Burnett. I'll start off with you, General. How does this make us look on the world stage? I know Vladimir Putin has been using this against us, talking about trans in the military. Look what they're doing. I mean, this can't be good for us.
Lydia, it's great to be with you and these gentlemen. It is not good for us, and it's not good for us in three ways. This weakens our nation. Way number one, we're projecting weakness. This is not an individual who you would be fearful of kicking in a door and breaking stuff in the middle of the night, saving America and American interests. You're not going to think that. And then way number two, this projects and attracts folks to the military that really are not going to be fit for military service. And we see the recruiting numbers and the retention numbers. Way number three is this really emboldens our enemies around the world. We're looking at potential breakout of war in the Middle East right now. We've got the Ukraine-Russia mess. We've got China that's bearing down on something to do with Taiwan or even worse. And it's all because America over the past 2 years has projected nothing but weakness and showing signs that we're not pulling out of it either. This is very dangerous.
Jonathan Gilliam, I want you to take a look at what our great U.S. Army has been reduced to. I know you're a former Navy SEAL. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Major Rachel Jones, and what pride means to me is celebrating that diversity is our strength as a nation and as an Army. Pride means something very special to me as a LGBTQ individual, and it's a chance to show everyone what we have to offer in terms of the diverse skill sets that we bring and the diverse ways of thinking we bring into the team to make everything work better.
It's just unbelievable. Jonathan, and then, of course, I get, John, your reaction as well. This same person, Major Rachel Jones, also said that he was suicidal and that once he transitioned, he says it saved his life. I thought that once you said you were suicidal, doesn't that automatically qualify you to be discharged?
It should, it can, but the real big issue here is that he said he knew this before he came in the military, which means he lied on his application, which means the reality is he should be dishonorably discharged from the military. Also, he's on the General Milley diet program. There's no way this guy could finish a PT test and qualify to be a major in the United States Army. I was a SEAL in the Navy, but I went through Army Ranger School as well. This guy, no way he could ever make it through Ranger School, which typically for most people who make it to major have been through Ranger School nowadays. But I want you to think about this, okay? As the general was saying there, what we project is very important, but it's also very important that we're able to carry out our job operationally. This guy is in charge. I had to look at it here, the Army Sustainment Command. Right? And what they do is provide globally responsive strategic logistics, capabilities, and material readiness to enable combat commanders to conduct the full range of military operations. There's no way that this guy is focused on that job, which is absolutely necessary for combat commanders to do in this day with technology. He is in charge of a cyber command, and that is so important because as he rises in rank, he's going to take his agenda with him, which we see in the Air Force and the Army. This woke agenda has become their focus, not fighting wars, which is and should be always the focus of all the DOD.
And John Burnett, I know you're dying to say something here.
Yeah, you know, my issue is this. As the military officer had mentioned, you know, he was suicidal. He had a lot of anxiety and depression, things of that nature, which means that we, gender orientation aside, we have to look at how we screen any new potential recruit coming in. Because why? Those mental illnesses are or should say, pose a threat to our national security, regardless of sexual orientation. So we need to make sure that we're doing a proper screening, whether it be written test, verbal evaluation, things of that nature. Why? Because we don't want the person to rise up in ranks and we realize after the fact that we actually had that risk, right? And how many individuals, whether it's sexual orientation or otherwise, do we still have in the military that are suffering from that condition?
I know. And General, we have just a minute left. And for people out there to understand, this is on the American taxpayer dime, correct? This sex change and the hormones and the surgery, say, down the line, correct, sir?
It absolutely is. And, you know, this is all about the profession of arms and what our true job is as military people. We are to fight and win America's wars. There is nothing else that's more important than that. And this is a sad reminder that we're not on the right track right now.
General Holt, Jonathan Gilliam, and John Burnett, you'll be back with us. Thank you so much for being with us for this segment.